Time for another fixing faulty eBay junk video, and today I've got this thing here. This is some sort of Famiclone keyboard or keyboard Famiclone, and I can't find out any real information on this particular model at all. I've looked online, I can't even find a picture of it, but as you can see, it's a keyboard, and at the top here you've got a little cartridge slot for putting in your Famiclone games, Famicom games I should say, and on the back we have a video, audio and RF with a DC in and an on-off switch just here. And as you can see, this thing is super crusty. The ports here at the back are all rusted. And yeah, this was bought on eBay as a faulty item. I've never tested it. It's been sitting in my cupboard for the last probably 2 years, so I have no idea if it works. I suspect that it doesn't, just judging by the condition it's in. If I turn it over here, you'll even see all the screws holding it together are rusted, and there's things rattling around inside. So yeah, I'm not holding out too much hope for this thing working again, but I thought it'd be interesting just to test it out anyway. But yeah, so basically you've got your cartridge slot at the top here, which just plugs in like so, and you have two joystick ports either side. So this one here, you've got joystick number 2. This is like a 9-pin type connector. Around here you have joystick and mouse. So this will fit your Mega Drive style joypad, just like so. And yeah, you've got your ports in the back, on off, and obviously you have a keyboard. You can see this one, you can see the really cheap and nasty PCBs through the clear plastic casing. So you've got some sort of board here for the joystick port, and this seems to be connected up to the keyboard. This one here for the cartridge, and then this power and audio video. But either way, I'll test it out, and I'll be taking this thing apart, and you can see what's on the inside as well. Been into the loft and I've dug out my Sony Trinitron TV. This was a really nice Gumtree find just recently. I got it for free. Gumtree is like the UK equivalent of Craigslist, I suppose, if you don't know what that is. But yeah, got that for free. Really nice old TV. It's not been cleaned up or anything yet, but it'll do perfect for the purposes of testing out this Famiclone. A cartridge in the top. I've got the audio and video connected and a power adapter plugged in there now. Bear in mind, I didn't know, or I don't know, what voltage this thing is supposed to take. I don't even know what polarity the pin on the plug there is meant to accept. So what I did is I got one of these power adapter thingies here with the adjustable voltage output, and I just started it off at a low voltage and worked my way up, and it seems to fire on at 9 volts. So what I've done then is grabbed my Mega Drive power brick and plug that into the back of this, and if I just flip the switch here, you'll see it is actually putting out a video signal. So yeah, and the LED's coming on, so there are some signs of life. I don't know if 9 volt is exactly what this thing is meant to take, but yeah, it seems like it probably does, so we'll take it from there. But yeah, at the moment, turning it on and off does pretty much nothing. You're getting sometimes a different coloured screen there, so maybe there's like a RAM error, or there's just a faulty connection somewhere. If I unplug the cartridge and plug that back in, again just the same. Unplug the cartridge altogether, the same again. So I think the next step here is going to be to take this apart and see if we can find anything obviously wrong with those circuit boards inside. But yeah, so far at least there are some signs of life, but I'm not too hopeful. These Famiclone things generally tend to not be built to the highest quality. So yeah, anyway, let's take it apart and find out what's inside. I finally managed to get the casing apart, and as you just saw, I actually had to drill out some of those screws that were so badly corroded that the heads on them were completely gone. This thing has definitely had some exposure to water or moisture at the very least. If you take a closer look at the board at the back here, you can see those audio-video connectors are super crusty, so that is not good. And if we take a look at the cartridge board, again, looking at the middle of that PCB, that has definitely had some prolonged exposure to moisture or water, so I doubt this thing is going to work ever again. This board isn't so bad, so yeah. But overall, this thing is disgusting. It's all crusty. It's got lots of crispy treats between the keys there, bits of insect, and I don't even want to think what else. But anyway, what I'll do now is I'll take these boards out and we can have a closer look at them. But at the moment, it's not looking hopeful at all. The boards are now free from the bottom of the casing, and yeah, they're actually not as bad as I thought they were. These are super crusty, of course, but the components themselves all seem to be in a half decent condition. And this board here, what I originally thought was a discoloration from moisture, is actually one of those epoxy covered chips. Sorry for the dodgy camera work here. As you can see, there's one of those, the main chip on this thing is covered with that black epoxy resin, and that's making it look a lot worse than it is. But the capacitors all seem fine, none of them are all swollen or anything, and yeah, the cables all seem to be in pretty good condition, so I'm wondering if this thing just needs the contacts cleaned up, maybe in the cartridge slot, and obviously these are needing a good clean. But I wonder if I test it out now and give things a bit of a wiggle, that I can get any more signs of life from it. Unbelievably, this thing seems to be working again. I've put the cartridge back in and I cleaned those contacts at the back, plugged in the AV cables and powered it on, and lo and behold, it works. Nice clear image, music works, everything seems alright with it, which is a real surprise to me considering the condition this thing is in and where it's obviously been kept. But yeah, it seems to work. So the next thing I'll do is I'll test out those controller ports and see what happens with those if they're still functional. But yeah, I'm really surprised this thing is functioning at all. There we go, let's come back to the menu. The buttons don't seem to do anything, but if I press reset, it will reset the game. Oh, out of focus. Hit reset again, there we go. But otherwise, these don't seem to do anything. But I'll try the controller ports next, but I'm actually genuinely a bit shocked that this thing is working. It doesn't seem to work with my Mega Drive controller, and I've also tried it with the Vectrex controller there as well, since it's got the same connector, but no, none of them work properly. The best I can get it to do is, I think sometimes, yeah, start a game if I hit the D-pad, but other than that, nothing else seems to work. The keys, for whatever reason, won't control the game either. That would have been nice if it had a built-in keyboard function for that. I'm guessing this originally came with some sort of software cartridge for using with the computer for the keyboards, because it does say that there's it's got mouse written on that port as well as joypad or keyboard or whatever, keyboard controller. So yeah, I'm guessing it originally came with some sort of software cartridge, but it plays the games fine. Image quality is actually really good for such a crusty old Famiclone, but yeah, I'm really surprised it's working. But what I'll do now is I'll get it cleaned up and put back together again, and yeah, that's that. Another quick note, this doesn't run on the full 9 volts that the Mega Drive uses. It does run with that configuration of the pin, negative to pin, but I found that it works fine running on 5 volts. So if you get another one of these or you find one in the wild, then that's what you need to use for it. It uses 5 volts and it uses that configuration there for the polarity. All nice and clean. I've blasted it all with compressed air, given it a good wipe down with the antiseptic wipes, put it back together again, and as you can see, it's working great. Good sound, good video coming out of the system. I'm very happy with that. The only other thing I did was I removed a little bit of the material around the cartridge slot just there, just so that it would sit there a bit more snug and make better contact. But otherwise, yeah, it just needed a good clean. I've decrusted the contacts at the back there, got rid of all those lovely little crunchy bits that were hidden between the keys, and yeah, very happy with it, working great. I'll need to work out what kind of controller it's compatible with. I'm guessing it's just one of the old school 9-pin joypad / joystick types, but otherwise, yeah, it's working fine. And this will get added into the collection of weird clone consoles. I forgot to mention I got this for, I think, around £7.50 on eBay delivered, which is probably about $10 US, and that was a good few years ago, probably about 2 years ago now. So if you're wondering how much it was originally purchased for, there you go. But as always, I got a bit lucky and it just needed a good clean, and that's that. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you again soon.